The snow drifted across the cracked sidewalks of Buffalo, New York on the day David Bellavia entered the world. It was November 10th of 1975, the Marine Corps birthday, and a date that would echo with eerie symmetry for Bellavia nearly 29 years later. To most people, he was simply the youngest of 5 brothers, the children of a dentist who taught them that hard work, discipline, and keeping one's word are the most important of truths. To David, childhood was a series of tests, you see, between wrestling his older brothers twice his size, learning to bounce back from the bruises, and discovering early that grit was its own kind of armor. He moved through school like a restless storm, smart and gifted in ways that he didn't always know how to use. After graduating high school in 1994, he studied biology and theater at the university in Buffalo. But something else simmered inside him, something that textbooks couldn't reach. The world was changing, and deep in his chest was a feeling that he was meant to serve, not to simply observe. So in 1999, he walked into an Army recruiting office and enlisted as an 11B infantryman in the United States Army. He didn't know it then, but fate had already chosen the battlefield where his name would be carved into American military history lore. In 2004, the war in Iraq was no longer the quick, decisive campaign many hoped it would be. The insurgency had grown teeth, sharp, jagged, and merciless, and nowhere were those teeth more visible than in the city of Fallujah, a city transformed into a fortress of concrete, tunnels, IEDs, and foreign fighters desperate for martyrdom. When Operation Phantom Fury began, the air throbbed with the thunder of tanks and the pulse of helicopter rotors. Over 13,000 coalition troops heightened around the city like a closing fist. Inside that fist was now Staff Sergeant David Bellavia, squad leader of A Company, 2nd Infantry Regiment, 1st Infantry Division. For days, Bellavia and his men fought block to block, room to room, house to house, moving through darkness, dust, and the metallic tang of war. Fatigue gnawed at every muscle, but there was no stopping, no slowing, not here and not now. On the evening of November 10th of 2004, a house loomed ahead, one of 1,000 just like it. Battered concrete, blown out windows, a silent promise of violence inside. Intelligence warned that the structure was fortified, but Bellavia's platoon had cleared dozens like it already. His squad breached the entrance. For a second, only silence. Then, boom! The house erupted. Gunfire shrieked from a hidden fighting position under the stairwell. A perfect kill zone. The squad was pinned instantly, trapped in a small room, as enemy rounds punched through walls, doors, and air with murderous precision. "We're stuck!" someone shouted. "We can't move!" Bellavia didn't think. He didn't hesitate. All he did was act. He ripped an M249 saw from a teammate. Heavy, deafening, the kind of weapon you only fire when you want the world to know that you're coming. and he sprinted straight into the doorway, exposing himself fully to the insurgents. Bullets snapped past him like angry little hornets. Dust exploded from the walls. Wooden splinters slashed his face, and Bellavia unleashed hell. The machine gun roared, its cyclic thunder drowning out everything else. The muzzle flash lit the cramped entrance like lightning as he poured round after round towards the stairway. Move! Go! Go! His men broke contact and spilled out of the house. He had bought them life with raw firepower. A Bradley fighting vehicle rumbled forward, turret sweeping, its cannon ready to vaporize anything inside the structure. But the walls were too high. The angles were wrong. The gunner couldn't get a shot. The enemy inside the house was still alive and ready. Bellavia's jaw tightened. We can't leave them behind us, he thought. This ends now. He reloaded, steadied his breathing, and charged back inside. The darkness felt thicker this time, almost alive. He moved carefully, rifle raised, senses sharpened to a razor's edge. Then he saw him, an insurgent emerging from the shadows. A rocket-propelled grenade aimed at Bellavia's platoon outside. One shot. One explosion. Boom! One heartbeat could end them all. Bellavia didn't give him that heartbeat. He fired first. Clack, clack, clack! The insurgent crumpled, and another bolted deeper into the house. Wounded and desperate, Bellavia followed, feeling the hair on the back of his neck rise. There was another room behind him, uncleared, silent, dangerous. He pivoted towards it, but the house struck first. The insurgent barreled down the staircase, weapon blazing. Simultaneously, the previously wounded fighter reappeared, firing wildly. Rounds tore through the darkness. Drywall disintegrated. The air filled with choking dust and the stink of burning powder. Bellavia dove deeper into the pitch-black room, firing controlled bursts as the attackers closed in. 2 enemies fell. Then, silence. A shape moved in the corner. A closet door burst open. Another insurgent. Another gun. Another flash. Bellavia fired back. Both men illuminated by brief, violent sparks from the flash. The insurgent fled up the stairs, wounded. Bellavia followed, boots pounding the steps, heart slamming against his ribs. He kicked open the door at the top of the landing and caught the fighter in his sights. The second floor was cramped and suffocating, but Bellavia pushed forward. Finding a door that led to the top floor, he reached for it, and a dark figure leapt from the 3rd floor roof, landing with a thud on the 2nd floor ledge just beyond the window. The insurgent roars, howling a battle cry, weapon in hand. Bellavia threw a grenade towards the window and fired, bullets ripping through glass and concrete. The fighter staggered, hit in the back and legs, and toppled towards Bellavia, where he finished him with his hands, pushing him off the ledge into the night below. Then, nothing. Silence. Only Bellavia's ragged breathing and the distant rumble of tanks echoed across the shattered city. In just minutes, A blur of gunfire. Grit and instinct. He had single-handedly cleared the entire enemy-occupied house, killing 4 insurgents and wounding a 5th. Via stepped back into the street. Dust clung to his uniform. Smoke curled from the barrel of his weapon. His men stared at him, some wide open, some shaking their heads in disbelief. "You good, Sarge?" one asked. Bellavia nodded, though his heart still hammered like it wanted out of his chest immediately. "It's clear," he said simply. Behind him, the house stood silent, stripped of the killers who had made it a tomb. He didn't brag. He didn't boast. He didn't need to. The men who witnessed his courage would tell the story. The army would record it. The nation would one day honor it. But in that moment, under the harsh glow of Fallujah's burning skyline, David Bellavia was just a soldier, tired, dirty, but alive, who had done what needed to be done to save his brothers in arms. And that was enough.